The stadium fell silent when the umpire's voice cut through her serve. Nobody knew it yet, but Serena Williams wasn't just playing against her opponent that day. She was playing against a century of bias. New York City, September 8th, Saturday afternoon. The U.S. Open Final. Arthur Ashe Stadium. 23,771 people packed into seats. The largest tennis stadium in the world. Concrete rising toward the sky like a coliseum. The air thick with humidity and tension, and the particular electricity that comes when history is about to be made. Serena Williams stands at the baseline, 36 years old, mother of a 1-year-old daughter, attempting to win her 24th Grand Slam title, attempting to tie Margaret Court's all-time record, attempting to prove that motherhood didn't end her dominance, that age didn't diminish her power, that she could still be the greatest when everyone said her time was over. She's wearing a black catsuit, form-fitting, powerful, designed by Nike specifically for her. The outfit made headlines weeks ago. Some called it empowering, others called it inappropriate. The French Tennis Federation actually banned it from future tournaments, said it didn't respect the game, but Serena wore it anyway. Wore it because it helped prevent blood clots after her difficult childbirth. Wore it because it made her feel strong. Wore it because she refused to apologize for her body. Across the net stands Naomi Osaka, 20 years old, Japanese Haitian, rising star, Serena's opponent, but also Serena's fan. Osaka grew up watching Serena, idolizing her, dreaming of one day playing against her, and now here she is, U.S. Open Final, against her hero. The first set is tight, both players holding serve, Serena's power against Osaka's speed, experience against youth. The crowd is electric, cheering every point, the sound bouncing off concrete, echoing, amplifying. Then something shifts. Serena's coach, Patrick Mouratoglou, sits in her player box. He makes a hand gesture, just a small movement. Coaching signals from the box are illegal during Grand Slam matches. Players are supposed to figure it out alone. That's the rule, the tradition, the sacred code of tennis. Chair umpire Carlos Ramos sees it. He's Portuguese, 47 years old, one of the most experienced officials in tennis, known for strict rule enforcement, known for not bending, known for treating everyone exactly the same, which sounds fair until you realize that treating everyone the same in an unfair system just reinforces that unfairness. Ramos calls down from his chair, "Code violation, coaching." The words hang in the stadium air. Serena stops, turns, looks up at him. "I don't cheat to win. I'd rather lose." Her voice is firm, clear, not angry yet, just stating a fact. Serena Williams has spent 25 years building her career on integrity, on outworking everyone, on being better, not sneakier. The accusation cuts deep, deeper than Ramos probably realizes. Ramos doesn't respond, just makes a note on his scorecard. First warning issued. The crowd murmurs, confused, uncomfortable. Nobody saw coaching. Nobody knows what Ramos saw. But the violation stands. Serena returns to the baseline, tries to refocus, but something is burning now, not just in her mind, in her chest, in that place where injustice lives and grows. She loses her serve. The game slips away. Frustration builds. In her frustration, Serena smashes her racket. The graphite cracks against the court. The sound sharp. Final. Pieces scatter. Ramos calls down again. Code violation. Racket abuse. That's the second violation. In tennis, the second violation means a point penalty. The next game starts with Osaka leading 15-0. Automatic. Serena's eyes flash. This is the moment. This is where 25 years of microaggressions, of double standards, of being told she's too strong, too muscular, too aggressive, too emotional, too black, all of it converges into this single point of rage. She walks toward the umpire's chair. "You owe me an apology." Ramos looks down at her. Blank expression. Official face. "I have never cheated in my life. I have a daughter and I stand for what's right for her. And I've never cheated." The stadium is silent now. 23,771 people, holding their breath. "You owe me an apology." Ramos says nothing, just sits there, in his chair, in his authority, in his power to enforce rules without context, without understanding, without seeing that this isn't just about coaching signals or broken rackets. This is about respect. Serena continues, her voice rising. You will never, ever be on another court of mine, as long as you live. You are the liar. When are you going to give me my apology? Say you're sorry. She's not yelling, not out of control. She's prosecuting, making her case, demanding accountability. You stole a point from me. You're a thief too, and that's the word that does it. Thief. Ramos makes another note. Code violation, verbal abuse. Third violation. In tennis, the third violation means a game penalty. Osaka automatically wins the next game. The score jumps from 3-4 to 3-5. Serena is now 2 games from losing the final. The stadium erupts, not in cheers, in confusion, in anger. The crowd doesn't understand. Neither do the commentators. Neither does Serena. You're giving me a game penalty because I said you're a thief? For me saying thief. Tournament referee Brian Early walks onto the court. Serena meets him at the net. The conversation is heated but quieter. The microphones don't catch everything, but body language tells the story. Serena pleading her case, Early shaking his head. Rules are rules. The penalty stands. What happens next is what matters most. Serena Williams is now facing match point, down 3-5 in the second set. Already lost the first set 6-2. The penalties cost her momentum, cost her focus, cost her the mental space she needed to compete against a player 16 years younger. But here's what doesn't happen. She doesn't quit. She doesn't walk off the court, doesn't default, doesn't let the injustice become an excuse. She plays, she competes, she fights for every point like the champion she is. Osaka wins 6-2, 6-4. The match ends. Serena approaches the net immediately, hugs Osaka, congratulates her. This is Osaka's moment, her first Grand Slam, her dream, and Serena will not let the controversy steal that from her. The trophy ceremony is painful to watch. Osaka stands on the stage, crying, not happy tears, sad tears, confused tears. The crowd is booing, not booing her, booing the situation, but it feels like they're booing her victory. Her achievement is being swallowed by controversy. Serena puts her arm around Osaka, speaks into the microphone. Let's make this the best moment we can. Let's give everyone the credit where credit is due. Let's not boo anymore. Naomi played a great match. I know you guys were cheering for me, but this was her moment. Let's celebrate her. That's grace. That's leadership. That's showing the world what strength really looks like. But the real story, the part that changed everything, happened 4 minutes after the trophy ceremony ended. Backstage. The press room. Rows of journalists waiting. Cameras ready. Recorders on. This is where Serena Williams will either apologize, defend herself, or say nothing. She walks in, still wearing the catsuit, face set, jaw tight. The first question comes immediately. Do you regret how you handled the situation with the umpire? Silence. 2 seconds. Serena looks at the reporter, then speaks. I've seen men say much worse to umpires and not get violations. I've seen men smash multiple rackets and get warnings, not penalties. I've seen men call officials names I won't repeat here and continue playing. Her voice is steady, not defensive, factual. I'm here fighting for women's rights and for women's equality. The fact that I have to go through this is just an example of what women go through in every field. When a woman shows emotion, she's hysterical. When a man shows emotion, he's passionate. Another reporter. But the rules apply to everyone equally. Serena's eyes sharpen. Do they? Because I've watched this sport my entire life. I've played it for 25 years at the highest level, and I've seen the double standard with my own eyes. The question isn't whether I broke a rule. The question is whether that rule is enforced equally. And I'm telling you, it's not. A third question. What message do you want people to take from this? This is the moment. This is where everything changes. Serena leans forward slightly. Her voice drops. Not in volume, in weight. I want my daughter to know that I stood up for what's right. That I didn't accept injustice quietly. That when someone treats you unfairly, you have the right to speak up, even if it costs you, even if people misunderstand, even if you lose. She pauses. The room is completely silent. Every camera focused on her face. I would rather lose with my integrity intact than win by staying silent. And if that means I'm called too emotional, too aggressive, too difficult, fine. I've been called those things my entire career, usually by people who've never accomplished a fraction of what I have. The umpire made his decisions. I made mine. I chose to fight, to speak, to demand respect, and I'll make that choice again, every single time. The press conference ends. Serena walks out. Within hours, the clip goes viral. Millions of views, shared across every platform. The debate explodes. Some people support her completely. Others say she should have controlled herself. Others debate the rules, the penalties, the fairness. But something else happens too. Something quieter but more powerful. Women around the world start sharing their own stories. Stories of being called emotional when they were being assertive. Stories of being punished for behavior that men were praised for. Stories of double standards in offices, in courtrooms, in boardrooms, in every arena where women compete with men. Serena Williams didn't just lose a tennis match that day. She sparked a movement. 3 weeks later, the United States Tennis Association makes an announcement. They're reviewing coaching violation protocols, looking at consistency in penalty enforcement, training officials on implicit bias. It's not enough. It's not justice, but it's acknowledgement. It's a crack in the wall. 6 months later, Serena receives a letter. It's from a 14-year-old girl in Atlanta. She writes, "I watched you at the US Open. I watched you fight even when it was hard. I watched you speak up even when people told you to be quiet. I'm on my school debate team. Last week my coach told me I was too aggressive, that I needed to smile more, make people comfortable. I almost quit, but then I remembered you. I remembered what you said, that you'd rather lose with integrity than win by staying silent. So I spoke up. I told my coach that aggressive isn't a bad thing, that women are allowed to compete hard. He didn't like it, but some of the other girls on the team thanked me later, said they felt the same way but were scared to say it. We're changing the team culture, together, because you showed us how." Serena keeps that letter, frames it, hangs it in her home office, because that's what the 4 minutes after the trophy ceremony created. Not just a press conference, a permission slip for women to be angry at injustice, to speak up, to refuse to shrink. Carlos Ramos never apologized. He never officiates another Serena Williams match, not because she banned him, though she said she would, because the tennis authorities quietly reassign him. They know what everyone knows, that what happened that day wasn't just about rules, it was about power and bias, and the ways systems protect themselves by punishing those who challenge them. Naomi Osaka later said in an interview that she wishes she could have enjoyed her victory more, that the controversy stole some of her joy, but she also said something else, something important. "Serena protected me that day. When the crowd was booing, she stopped them. She made sure my moment wasn't completely taken from me. She could have stayed silent, let the chaos continue, but she didn't. That's the kind of champion she is, not just in winning, in losing too." 5 years later, researchers at the University of California study the incident. They analyze penalties given to male and female tennis players over a 20-year period. The findings are stark. Female players receive code violations for emotional outbursts at significantly higher rates than male players exhibiting identical behavior. The study is titled "The Serena Effect: Gender Bias in Sports Officiating," because that's what 4 minutes created. Not just controversy, evidence, data, proof of what Serena Williams knew from 25 years of lived experience. Today, when young tennis players face unfair calls, when women in any field face double standards, they reference that day. The day Serena Williams refused to accept injustice quietly. The day she lost a match but won something bigger. Some people still debate whether she should have handled it differently, whether she should have stayed calm, whether her response was proportional. But those people miss the point entirely. The point isn't whether Serena Williams was perfect in that moment. The point is that she was human, passionate, fed up with a system that consistently treats women, especially black women, as if their emotions are dangerous, while men's emotions are celebrated as competitive fire. The point is that 4 minutes of unfiltered truth sparked 5 years of conversation, of policy review, of cultural shift. The point is that her daughter, Olympia, will grow up in a world where that US Open final is referenced, studied, remembered, as the day her mother chose integrity over silence. And maybe, just maybe, Olympia won't have to fight the same battles, because Serena Williams fought them first. That's what those 4 minutes created. Not just a press conference, a legacy. Who in your life is being called too emotional for demanding respect? Who's being punished for behavior that others are praised for? And when you see that injustice, when it's your moment to speak or stay silent, what will you choose? Because 4 minutes can change everything, if you're brave enough to use them.